So hello all and welcome to Decide, the Realist Philosopher. And in this video, I'd like to talk about this guy who is pretty upset because at the age of 35, he's essentially never had a girlfriend. I think he's never been laid either, so virgin as well. And I believe he may or may not have spent a bunch of money on some broad in the hopes of getting somewhere, and it got him nowhere. Not real shocking in today's day and age. So let's just jump right into this video, shall we? Should be interesting. Okay, so before we start, I need to give some commentary based on the title of this video and his looks. So the dude is wearing like a button-up shirt, but like a jacket, and a jacket sense like it was a jacket, but it's not a jacket. It's a long-sleeve button-up shirt. And he's got a grungy looking t-shirt on underneath. So yeah, fashion sense, dude's getting an F. F plus, screaming, I don't care about how I look. In addition, I can tell from what little I can see of him that he's a portly fellow. So in the realm of things he can control to make himself look more attractive to the ladies, another F. So not putting the fork down, having no fashion sense. I guess the shirt, second shirt loosely worn, is to try and hide the bulging gut and love handles without much success. He's also got the unkept beard and the rather unkept hair as well. So the fellow is just generally speaking unkept. Not a good thing. So just wanted to point that out. All right, let's continue.
Hey nobodies, it's me here once again, here with my co-host Mr. Nobody. The other day, YouTube recommended me two videos that were titled basically, I'm 25 years old and I've never had a girlfriend. Those weren't the exact titles of those videos, but they were more or less the titles of those videos. So I watched these videos and I'm watching the two dudes in the videos. The thing that struck me the most was the fact that both of these dudes looked even more like Jeffrey Dahmer than I do. But the main thing that I thought about when I watched these videos, my main thought was, what a couple of amateurs. I'm 35 years old and I've never had a girlfriend before. Pretty fucked up, huh?
King Nobody. Spelled nobody wrong. It should just be N-O, body. But anyway, so immediately what strikes me is this self-flagellation and the self-deprecating humor. It's usually used to cover up insecurity, in this case, probably at massive level of it. Generally speaking, it's employed by people who don't have a very good view of themselves. So not the most confident guy, obviously, so yet another piece of the puzzle falls into place.
Yeah, that's my new intro. Pretty annoying, isn't it? Anyway, yes, as I said before, I'm 35.
So what he's really doing here is he's telling you what he actually thinks of himself with the self-deprecation. He thinks he's annoying, a loser. So not a very high opinion of himself. Whether or not that is warranted, well, we'll see when we get some more information.
Years old and I've never had a girlfriend. Which before I'm 35 years old and I've never had a girlfriend. Which I don't really feel too bad about my situation because I mean I know there are other.
I really don't believe that. He says he doesn't feel bad about his situation, yet he's making a video about it. Come on, dude. That's just cope, right?
Guys out there who are older than me, who've never had girlfriends. In fact, I know.
So what? Okay. Yeah, and
A guy personally who's 63 and he's never had a girlfriend. I mean, he's gay, but he's never had a girlfriend. But anyway, how did this happen? Well, I guess we gotta go back to my early teenage years. You know, back when
Is his shirt stained? Is there like a, by the way, these bangs? He's got bangs? A dude with bangs? Dude, your fashion sense is horrible. Your hygiene don't look too good. And you got a big giant stain on your shirt underneath your chin. What the hell? I think I'm starting to see why you never had a girlfriend.
I was in junior high school, about 13 or so. I, like a lot of kids my age, were really
Portly?
getting into girls and asking girls out and going on dates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that a lot of the other boys in school at the time were having girlfriends and stuff. But here's the problem. This is at any age, really. But if you're a guy and you want to date and you're fat and you're nerdy and you're socially awkward, that's pretty much the kiss of death if you...
So these are all fixable things. See, the problem here is too many people believe that they are what they are and there's no changing it. That's not at all true. It just requires self-awareness and discipline and a constant state of mindfulness in regards to your behavior and acting in a way that you want to act, being what you want to be as opposed to what you are at a base, unthinking, subconscious level. So you have to be constantly mindful so that you can change who you are, become what you want to be, and then eventually become second nature, like breathing. And so it requires a lot of hard work, a lot of effort. That's why most people don't change, but you absolutely positively have control over these things, especially your weight. If you're fat, put the fork down, go out and take a walk, ride your bike. Socially awkward, look for the kind of behaviors in others that you would like in yourself, that you would like to be demonstrating when you speak to others. Become what you want to be. What you are is absolutely, positively 100% a choice. And if you're choosing not to do anything to change how you are, then that's de facto choosing to be what you are. And if you don't like what you are and you're not doing anything to change it, what are you complaining for? You're choosing to be that way. So this guy's abdicating responsibility. Bad idea. Don't do that. Women get away with that because men let them. Okay? They get incentivized to abdicate responsibility. They get propped up. They get social safety nets everywhere. They don't have to take responsibility. You're a man. You've got no choice. Well, you got a choice, I guess. But if you make that choice, you're going to be single. You're never going to have a girlfriend. You're never going to get laid. So, yeah, you have a choice. You can also abdicate responsibilities, man, but you're going to have this kind of life. And you don't
want to have any...
You don't have the advantage that a woman has of being able to duck and dodge and weave responsibility and get rewarded for it, okay? You're going to get penalized for that kind of choice.
Sort of a romantic life. Just one of those alone would be bad enough, but all three at the same time, no. But of course, at the time, I didn't realize this. Me, my fat, nerdy, socially awkward 13-year-old self, asked two girls out. They didn't say no, but they did say worse than no. The first girl said, I just threw up in my mouth, which that was a real self-esteem booster. The second girl started crying, told a teacher, and the teacher made me apologize. I had to apologize for asking a girl out. Now
this tells you how gynocentric. I mean, this, by the way, this is when he was 13. He's 35, so 22 years ago. This tells you just how long things have been extremely gynocentric. Of course, it was a female teacher. Apologize for having the nerve to ask this girl out, you chubby loser. Wow, what a great teacher.
Is a special level of hideousness right there. And when I got a little bit older and got into high school, my situation didn't really improve either, because it became a lot more normal for, people my age to have girlfriends and stuff, and it just wasn't happening. Like, even the other ugly, nerdy, unpopular girls weren't into me.
So see how his internal dialogue, everything's negative. The man's mindset, he's choosing. The way you think about yourself is as much a choice as how you act and how you feel about yourself and how you look. These are all choices. Now, in regards to your face, I'm not thinking about that. You can't really affect that much unless, of course, you're really fat and then it's going to show in your face and you lose some weight. That in and of itself is going to help make you more attractive. And you can, of course, make up for maybe not being as attractive in the face by having a good body. That's all within your control. But this guy instead, here's some more abdicating of responsibility. Instead of taking responsibility for how I think about myself, how I feel about myself, how I'm going to present myself to the world, I just wallow in my own misery and accept that I can't change anything. Well, that's a choice. These are all choices, my friend. And they're the wrong choices, and you've made them your entire life. And now you want us to view you as a victim. Obviously. Nope. Sorry.
For example, there's this one girl who I went to high school with. She was very, very fat. She was she was as fat as I was. Her and I, we were like the two fattest kids in school. And all the kids in school used to joke that her and I should date just because, I don't know, we're both so fat and people who are ridiculously fat should date, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't think a bed could support the both of us unless it was made out of titanium or something. So I don't know. But people were joking about me and her dating and whatnot. And one day,
I don't like this self-deprecation. He's what he's doing. A lot of people out there think this is a good thing to make light of your problems and just laugh them off. But the problem is you're not taking them seriously. Okay, and if you don't take your problems seriously, then you're not going to make proactive efforts to change them. If you're just always making light of your problems, making light of your issues, it just makes it easier to dismiss them, to casually toss them aside, to not really take them seriously, to not take on these problems, to really actually work toward a solution. It makes it too easy to do nothing when you don't take these things seriously.
she walks up to me. Before I had a chance to say anything, she says, "David, I just want you to know that I find you disgusting and I would never date you." And she walked away. So, yeah, once again, another self-esteem booster right there.
Well, this isn't surprising. I mean, we all know this about women. Even big, fat, ugly hog chicks can get laid. And they get laid by guys that are better looking than them, right? She's probably a one or a two. She could probably get with a three or four, right? There's a lot of desperate dudes out there, and if they get enough booze in them, they'll take a roll in the hay with her. Okay, we'll turn out the lights. It's dark. I don't have to see her, and I can imagine, Jennifer Aniston or whoever was hot, a hot commodity back then that all the boys wanted to bang 20 years ago.
The fattest and one of the most unpopular girls in school thought I was disgusting.
Yeah, but she was still getting laid, my friend. She was still getting laid. Okay, that's why. She could still get laid. And at that age, she's still highly deluded and pre-wall, and so she's getting laid. She doesn't understand that sexual attention from men doesn't equate to commitment attention. So, yeah. And of course, she's a woman, so is she ever going to wake up? I guarantee you she's a big fat cat lady to this day.
My senior year of high school, my senior year, I decided to go on a big self-improvement kick. I lost the weight. I got myself a job at Walmart. From that job at Walmart, I greatly improved my social skills. Things were going good. I even started to date a little bit. The thing is, these dates didn't really go anywhere, which didn't really bother me at the time because it's like...
So you improved how you look and you get a job, but you didn't improve your sense of self. Even though you were thinner and in better shape, you still had the internal dialogue of a fat, ugly, socially awkward loser. So you changed the exterior and you thought that that would somehow change the interior dialogue and how you viewed yourself. No. The physical stuff's easy. Changing your mindset, altering your personality, your inner sense of self, how you feel about you. These things are the hard part. And you didn't know to do that work. You didn't know how to do that work. You didn't realize you had to do that work. So You're this guy lacking in confidence who is self-deprecating, who sees himself as a loser, geek, awkward, a nerd, totally lacking in confidence. Well, women see that and they don't want to be around that.
Whatever. But I got a little bit older. I got a much better job in my early 20s, which I'm still working at today. I started going on even more dates, and they also went absolutely nowhere. The women who I dated kind of thought of me as just like the funny friend for the most
Yeah,
part. But
that's because that's how you portrayed yourself. So you can fall into this trap. Essentially you're very insecure. And when as a man you're very insecure, you are that self-deprecation, they're not really presenting yourself in a way that would be a boyfriend. You don't feel you're worthy. If you act in that way, she's not going to see you as worthy. If you're constantly putting across this, just always joking, never taking anything seriously, never taking yourself seriously, always presenting yourself as someone of low quality, low value, yeah, you're friend zoning yourself without even realizing it.
some of the women I dated, they just kind of like thought I was repulsive and they couldn't even stand being around me. They couldn't even see me as like a friend. And I get it, I'm
Oof.
awkward and annoying and stuff. I mean,
And if you think that about yourself, you're going to act that way, and then that's how they're going to see you.
and then also another problem with me is because I don't really have a whole lot of experience doing like physical stuff, like making out and whatnot. So when we started doing stuff like that, like I had no idea what I was doing. It was just really awkward and weird and uncomfortable for the both of us. So
Oh,
these
jeez.
dates just didn't go anywhere, and it was really frustrating. In 2012, I put together a big all expense paid vacation for me and several of my online friends to go to Chicago. I paid.
You didn't pay for all of it. Tell me you didn't do that. Tell me you don't have that little self esteem that you feel you need to buy the attention and affection of other people. Tell me you didn't do that.
For the whole thing. Everyone's plane tickets, the hotels, everything.
Oh my God. If you act weird and awkward, and that's how you see yourself, and you tell her that's what you are, and you act in that way, no, they're not going to want to date you. And if you have so little value, if you see yourself as having so little value that you have to go out of your way to buy friends, to try and buy a girlfriend, to try and buy the attention and affection of a woman, guess what? She's going to see you as low value. You're putting all this effort into her. That means she's got the value because you're chasing her, because you're putting out all this money, because you're buying vacations to try and get her to like you. Yeah, she's going to see you as a low value loser. That's the message you're sending, my friend.
Cost me over $8,000. And the reason why I did this was because I wanted to impress a girl who was one of my online friends. And
Yeah, guys, that's the worst mistake you could possibly make, especially in today's materialistic world. Where everything is transactional on a materialistic level and not virtue value based level. If you go out of your way to chase and spend money in abroad, you're going to look to her the way this dude looks to me and you and everybody else watching right now. Don't do that. Have them chase you. You have to act indifferent, like you don't care. This guy's doing the exact opposite and wondering why he can't get any tail.
I had had a crush on her for a long time. We had been really close. She was one of those cute, nerdy girls, kind of tomboyish, but I thought she was gorgeous. She was just really funny, had a really sharp sense of humor. I find that really attractive in women to have a sharp sense.
Okay, so listen to all the good stuff he's saying about her. Has he said anything good about himself? I'm fat, awkward, I'm nerdy, I don't know what I'm doing in the bedroom. This guy doesn't see one positive thing in himself. Nothing. So there's really nothing. Is there anything there to see that's positive? Even if he does have any positive traits, he doesn't see them because he's not looking for them. So he's not working on them. And then he's not building those traits up to improve himself, nor is he trying to introduce positive traits that he would like to have because somehow he doesn't seem to think he has power over his life or who he is. Too many men have this kind of mindset. It's very bad.
of humor. And I felt like she got me in a way that nobody else really did because, like me, she was autistic. So I thought we had that, sort of bond there. And I really wanted to, impress her.
Are you autistic, or is that just another negative that you view yourself as? Jesus.
And win her over. So I put together this big trip. I flew 5 people up to Chicago, and I live close to Chicago, so I just like took an Amtrak. And
Wait. This guy has no consideration for himself. So he paid for 5 people to fly somewhere, and he took Amtrak. What the hell is wrong with you, pal? You're paying for other people?
The first night of the trip, the girl who I wanted to impress just.
I don't get this. You're paying for other people to take plane trips, and you're taking a train. Don't you care about yourself at well? Look at this guy. This, oh man, dude. See, you're in this position because you chose to be. Gentlemen, you need to be proactive. You need to study people. You need to study human behavior. You got to find out what makes other people tick. You want to understand other people, understand yourself. People don't want to be around somebody who's a downer like this freaking guy, okay? Who has no self-esteem, who has no self-worth. Being around a guy like this is just going to make you feel bad about yourself. Nobody wants to be around somebody that makes them feel down. They want to be around somebody that makes them feel up and positive. Everything about this guy is soul sucking. He seems to me very much like a walking, talking black hole of despair and negativity. Oh my gosh. And I mean, he just doesn't seem to really see any value in himself. And I don't know that he has any value to other people, not the way he is now. And he's made no effort to make himself the type of person that other people would see value in, because he doesn't see value in himself. And that's how he presents himself to others. And he wonders why nobody sees his value when he doesn't.
Randomly just pulled me into the bathroom and started making out with me. Like, I was not expecting it. She just started making out with me. And I almost lost my virginity that night. But I didn't go that far. We were in the bathroom of the hotel room, and all our friends were like sitting right outside. So I didn't want them to hear. So I just kind of assumed that I would have an opportunity later. So I was like, okay.
No. It don't work that way. Women are extremely sensitive to rejection. And she might have been drunk. She might have been high. Maybe she took something at that moment. Maybe the alcohol was at its peak of effectiveness. I don't know. Whatever was happening to this broad, she wanted you right then and there. And just because she wants you right then and there doesn't mean she's going to want you later. And did you go out of your way to tell her, hey, let's meet up now. Let's go to my hotel room? Did you say to her, hey, did you have the confidence? Do you have the balls? Did you have the cojones to say, hey, let's go to my hotel room. Let's not do this here in this bathroom? Or were you so insecure, so terrified of shattering the moment and destroying any possibility of anything happening, even though she clearly wants you, she is all over you, that you said nothing? I mean, did you just pull away and I mean, did you tell her anything, or did you just say, let's do this later? Or did you say nothing? I'd like to see. How did this guy handle this?
Yeah, we're not doing this right now, but hopefully later. So
you didn't say that, dude. No. Okay, guys, if an opportunity like this presents itself, you take it. Women are fickle beings. Okay. So the way this guy reacted, no, maybe later. That's rejection. There's nothing definite about that. You're acting very indifferent. You're acting very dismissive. You're not acting all that interested. You're not acting all that into her. If you said, no, we're not doing this right now, maybe later. Well, in her mind, that's rejection. And the maybe later part, in her mind, would just be you trying to be nice. And as you said, she's a little geeky. She's a little nerdy. So She's probably also rather insecure, although let's be honest, most women are insecure. The better looking they are, the more insecure. So she might be actually less insecure than your average hottie. Your average hottie wouldn't be into this guy, but she's a woman, so she's going to be insecure. Dude, that was the wrong way to handle it.
But I felt great. I felt amazing. I'm like, oh, I finally got the girl. And I was
No.
like on cloud nine for the next day. Yeah, the next day I was feeling pretty great. And then that night,
What do you mean the next day? You didn't go back to her? You didn't revisit the issue later that night? You didn't tell her, come to my hotel room, let's get out of here and go to my hotel room? Did you get yourself a hotel room? Well, I'll spend $8,500 for all these people to fly. What was it, Chicago, he said? I don't know. Who the hell goes to Chicago for a vacation? I don't know what the hell this is about. But I don't know where he went. I forget. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Germane to the story, honestly. The fact that this loser spent $8,500 to fly 5 people somewhere because he wanted their attention and validation and affection and love, that's the germane part. What? Didn't you tell her, hey, let's go back to my room? And then you said, oh, no, maybe later. What? Didn't you go back to her that night? You waited till the next day to revisit the matter? Oh, my God. What's wrong with you? Jesus.
the girl who I wanted to impress.
The next night. Oh, wow. Dude, he waited a full 24 hours. Woo!
Had sex with one of the other guys on the trip while I was in the room. $8,000.
Of course she did. You'd rejected her. This was her way of getting back at you. You hurt her. She came to you. She wanted you. She was all over you. And you're like, maybe later. She wanted to get back at you for hurting her. Yeah, she's young. She's a kid like you. And petty. Yeah, like most women. You dumbbell, you.
To hear the girl of my dreams get railed by another guy. Fantastic. What happened was a couple
It's your own fault, by the way, pal.
years later, when I was about 26, I kind of went through a dark phase where I got really into drinking.
This guy's whole life is a dark phase. Oh my God. I can't imagine what a dark phase would be like to this freaking guy.
I was drinking, getting drunk pretty much every day. I was drinking Caliber vodka, which is like the shittiest, cheapest, bottom shelf vodka you can get. But it's cheap and it gets you drunk fast, so that's why I drink it. So I would drink that every day. I would eat pretty much nothing but junk food. Like my diet was probably 80% pizza, and I'm not exaggerating. I would chain smoke 2 packs of...
So there went his, fitness. So he said he got a better job. He got in shape. Well, not anymore. But does it really take much? This guy's got no discipline. No discipline at all.
Cigarettes a day. And I did this every day for about 5 years. Every day I would get off work, I would go home, get drunk off the cheap vodka, chain smoke, eat the junk food, and I was just not taking good care of myself. I gained over 150 pounds, and I'm not exaggerating. I had to wear old people diapers to bed because I kept pissing myself. I would go months without bathing. I would go months without brushing my teeth. I got periodontal disease because I took such poor care of my teeth. I was just...
Did he say months without brushing? How do you have a job? He said he had a good job and he has that job to this day. How? Is it working at home? It's got to be working at home because you ain't going into the office with that dragon breath. You ain't brushing 3 months, you're going into the office? You ain't showered in 2 weeks, you're going into the office? I don't think so. Where does he work? Where you can go in and stinking and all dirty and your teeth are all brown and you got the worst breath on the planet. Oh, wow.
A mess. I was going into work hungover and it was just not good. It was just not good. I was not taking care of myself. And I did this.
Dude, I'm looking at you right now. You don't look like you're taking care of yourself now. Let's be honest.
From the age of 26 to 30, I refer to that era as my drinking days. So if you ever hear me refer to my drinking days, I'm referring to that era. But anyway, one day when I was 30, I was starting to develop some chest pains. I went to the doctor, and he took my blood pressure and did some other stuff and asked me some questions. and he point blank told me, yeah, you're going to be dead by 40 if you don't start making some serious life changes. That was pretty terrifying. And what made it even more terrifying is that two really close online friends of mine around this time had died in their 30s.
This guy's extremely self-destructive. He views the world through a negative lens. He views himself through a negative lens, and of course, his actions are going to follow suit. He'd be dead by 40. Can you imagine how much you have to booze and eat and smoke? How poorly you have to take care of yourself to have those kind of heart problems at 30.
Doing the same things I was doing. The first friend of mine who died was extremely overweight, like 600-pound life size. I mean, Dr. Now would have had a field day with this guy. You know, he got really big and it just killed him. You know, he was in his early 30s too. My other friend, also in his 30s, was a massive alcoholic. He ended up dying of liver failure. Yeah, so I took that news from my doctor of me being told point blank that I'd die at 40. I saw my friends dying. Well, I didn't see them dying, but you know, I
Yeah, like attracts like, by the way, and like reinforces like. So if your friends are alcoholics and you're an alcoholic and you want to stop being an alcoholic, you're going to have to stop having friends that are alcoholics.
them dying combined with that news, it really set off the alarms in my head. Ever since then, I've just tried to have a new and positive outlook on life because
Does anybody think this guy's positive? I think in his mind, the positive outlook is him trying to have a sense of humor about all his foibles and flaws, but all he's really doing is making light of them, not taking them seriously, and he thinks that's somehow a solution. No, you're not going to change that way.
the thing about life is, yeah, it sucks sometimes and it's annoying and you know it can be unfair, but
Life sucks and it's annoying and it's unfair, but I'm much more positive now. Really? I mean, I get maybe he is, but this doesn't sound positive to me. If this guy's more positive than he was, I'm scared to see how negative he was before. But I haven't seen anything positive about this guy at all. At all.
I like life. I figure I'm 35 now. I got another.
Who out there thinks this guy likes life? I don't think he likes life at all. I think this is all cope. I think he's in denial, and I think all this trying to portray himself as somebody that doesn't take himself seriously. And I see the humor in life and everything wrong with me, and I see the humor and all that stuff. It's just a front. It's just a cover. It's just a cope. You're not dealing with your issues, my friend.
40 something years, give or take, in front of me. Why not just see what happens? So yeah, I mean, I decided,
Yeah, why don't I just take a back seat? Why don't I just play a passive role in my own life and do nothing to change and make no proactive steps and just, ride it out until I'm dead? Yeah, that's a great attitude to improve your life, pal.
start eating healthier. Lost the weight. I quit drinking. I quit.
No, you've lost some weight. You haven't lost enough, okay? How about getting a haircut?
Smoking and I just try to focus on doing things that I just enjoy and have fun with, like video games and movies and whatnot. Just try
Always to escape reality. Not that there's anything wrong with video games, not that there's anything wrong with movies, but it seems like everything this guy does is a dodge to avoid problems, including his humor about his problems, instead of actually facing them head on and doing something to change them.
to live a better lifestyle and not worried too much about things that
So everything with this guy is about externalization. I'm going to focus everything outward instead of inward. Instead of going inward and becoming self-aware and learning more about myself and the root causes of my issues so I can change them, I'm just going to focus everything externally. And that's going to change everything internal, right? What? It doesn't work like that, my friend.
I don't have, and just try to enjoy the things I do have, which I guess
Distract yourself with hedonism, pleasure of the moment. Gotcha.
some people would probably see as a cope, which I mean,
Yeah, yeah, you think? Is there a glimmer of hope here? Did he maybe show a bit of possible self-awareness of what, some awareness of what the issues might be? That he might just be coping and in denial? Let's see.
If it's a cope, it's a cope, whatever. I mean, I would rather cope.
Whatever. I'd rather just sit back and relax and take nothing seriously, yeah, and just see what happens. Okay, you take a back seat in your own life. This is what you get, my friend.
Than wear old people diapers to bed. Personally, I'm just gonna sit back and.
So you think the way you're being now is no, you just changed your coat. Before it was booze and smoking, and you've just shifted your addictions. You've just shifted the activities. You've just shifted your coping mechanisms to other unhealthy ways of coping. And what unhealthy, insofar as what I mean, is avoiding your problems instead of facing them, continuing to externalize everything, thinking that'll solve your issues because that's the easier way to go about things because you're a lazy SOB and you don't want to really do the hard work to change. And what's required to change is to understand the root causes of all your issues, but you don't have the balls for that. So you're just going to continue to not take anything seriously and, yeah, be in denial and cope and not deal with anything.
Let the chips fall where they may, and who knows what will happen. That's pretty much all I got to say in this video. I guess I'll see all you nobodies later.
So there you go. So not only does he not know how to spell nobody, so he hasn't really worked to educate himself. He's not all that articulate. He dresses like a bum. He takes about as much care in regards to how he looks as he does the rest of his life. So doesn't really pay attention, doesn't really focus on the moment, doesn't really put much thought or effort into anything, including his own character and personality and virtues, which he doesn't really seem to possess many, if any, of. Oh, he has a job that he's had for 10 years. Okay. All right, you got a work ethic, apparently. It isn't too bad. I don't know what his job is, and he's going in drunk and smelling badly. But okay, that he maybe got one virtue that he probably isn't even aware of, and not too concerned about because he's had the same job for a long freaking time without apparent promotion. Because I think he would have told us that. So. Yeah, just a laissez-faire, laid-back attitude. Everything's a joke. Doesn't take anything seriously, and he wonders why he's a virgin at 35 who's never had a girlfriend. Let me know what you think. Is this guy a victim? Or women just being unfair, as he has himself proclaimed, life is unfair. It's not fair that I don't have a girlfriend. Are they the problem, or is this guy himself the actual problem? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. And if you'd like to help me out, you could start by making a donation to my GoFundMe. I recently had a really bad illness. Was in shock, a coma, had a heart attack. This wasn't that long ago. I still can't work. So if you could make a donation to my GoFundMe, I'd greatly appreciate it. You'll find the link in the description, and you can get more information there. Any amount is greatly appreciated, and of course, only if you can afford it. And on that note, I am out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.